Buenas noches. Bienvenidos. Good evening. Welcome. Thank you for being with us tonight. Your presence means a lot more than you can imagine. We are truly honored to give you the welcome to the Inspire Together event, an event from Fundación Educación Estrella.
Tonight, we gather together because we have a common belief that any young person, regardless of their economic background, desires the opportunity to welcome you to this session and this time.
Along the journey, we have met extraordinary young men and women, full of determination, full of talent, full of dreams. But they carry a burden they didn't choose. For many of them, access to higher education is just out of reach, and many of them think they don't deserve to go to the university, which is not real.
And you know, this personal cause start like making for us, it was a cause for our family. Just what it was supposed to be like a connection with Jair or Juliana or a couple of students become the commitment for our family. We decide with Angie to start pursuing young people around Colombia and looking how to inspire together and how to inspire them to go to education. Let me introduce you. My name is Wei. Wait a minute, I have to go there. My name is Wei. My wife is Angie. We are the co-founders, one of the co-founders of Fundación Educación Estrella. And we have three beautiful daughters. We have been blessed with three beautiful daughters. The first one is April. She is 9 years old. The second one is the youngest one. She is 5 years old. And the Polish girl, her name is Celeste. And as parents, we do believe that if we educate our girls, they will have a good opportunity in the future. We believe that, if we provide them opportunities to study, to be disciplined, to attend to classes and to teachers, they will have doors opens for the future. But we are not alone. I don't know why it's moving, but we are not alone. We also desire the same thing for thousands of students that are in Colombia, that they are not a part of our family, but they are part of our extended family that is Estrella. So I would like you to encourage to have in your heart those students that they are waiting for an opportunity, the students that need your inspiration, that need your mind and your heart to be supported to go to education.
As a family, we believe that God has blessed us, so we become a blessing for other people, for other families. And as we say, our family has changed our priorities, our commitment, so we can open new doors to those who need it the most.
And you know, this story, we would like you to share a little bit about our story. Wait a minute. This one. Estrella was born 7 years ago, November 2nd, 2019. And as you read in the quote, it was born in the middle of a life twist. 7 years ago, I was fired from my job. My wife was pregnant for our third daughter. We were facing a financial crisis in the family. And in the middle of these circumstances, God decided to call us. Because God calls in the most unexpected circumstances in life. And he said, okay, wait, I need you. I need you and I command you to go for the young people in Colombia. And I said, my God, I don't have the resources. My family is growing, literally. I need diapers. I don't have money. How do you think I can step out of the boat and put my feet on the water like in this bay and walk. It's not for me. It's not for me, God. But he told me, yes, it's you. I am designing you. I select you, and I want you to go. And I need you to understand the deep message that this means for me. Because it was the moment in which God just told me, your faith is not theory. You need to start walking upon the waters and believe in me. And this quote say, with faith, purpose, and obedience, we start Estrella. And the name of Estrella means that every student is a star. And we are features for students. We go and we knock the door of every home and family that have a young people, a young girl and boy that needs to go to education.
As I say, it was a path of uncertainty because, yeah, I was pregnant of our third girl. And we felt something unexpected, I will say. We didn't panic, like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? But he really called us, like, you are going to step forward. And he's got the plan, you know. He knew what was gonna happen next. And for us, our plans didn't make sense on paper, but he knew how we were going to do this. So tonight is not about generosity. It's about a path full of love, full of purpose, full of faith, and full of hope. Hope for so many students that are talented, that need the opportunity to look farther, to look higher than the context they have grown in, you know. I have talked to a couple of you, and many of you are from Latin America. And we know how is this context, how is vulnerable people, vulnerable homes where there may be violence, that our kids are being exposed to drugs, to so many things, you know. But this is a path for that, for new hope, for future. And we are really convinced that if we get together and invest in the future of these young people, the change will be possible. So thank you for being here, truly, from the deep of my heart. Thank you.
And we want to share you something special. As a family, we have a diary. Everything that God has told us is written in a notebook. Because we believe that if the vision is written in the stone, in the perfect time, it will be accomplished. So in that time, November 2nd, 2019, I wrote this. And I would like to read the quote just to share you the vision and how God just called us. He said, today, when even my imagination cannot reach to see what is coming, I write these words. We will be a testimony of how, through faith, as a family, we broke the veil to draw closer to God. How our third daughter is a promise of multiplication and blessing for our family, and how that which Charles Stanley wrote will become a reality for us. This is the quote of Charles Stanley. Take us wherever you want us to go, to do whatever you want us to do. Do you think, being in this stage, probably nervous in front of you, behind the Miami Bay, was expected for my life? But I am here in obedience to God, because one day He called me, walk upon the waters, be courageous, be strong, and do not fear. I'm with you, and I believe that. And I believe that if you are seated here, God has a perfect purpose in this conversation. And I am talking today on behalf of thousands of students, young people that need a voice in Colombia and in Latin America. I am sure that when we will see, probably 3-5 years after, you will see how the seed that we are planting today will grow and bring fruits. Young people that will be husbands, fathers, mothers, citizens of our countries.
So this is the vision we have embraced for this year. Each young person is a star. And our dream is to build a constellation with them. So welcome and thanks for coming with us in this journey of transformation.
Thank you, Angie. Jair was the first student that was funded by Educación Estrella in the University Externado, Colombia. Right now, Jair is studying his 7th semester of public accounting and is doing his internship. His mother, she works in domestic services in a building, in an old building in the downtown in Bogota, and he lives in the south extreme part of our city. So
Hi, good night. I'm now here sitting next to Jair. It is an honor for us to be with you via this connection, this virtual connection. And I want you to introduce you to Jair, our first student here at the Universidad del Externado. So please tell us, Jair, your complete name and what you're studying.
Buenas noches para todos, mucho gusto. Mi nombre es Jair Alexander Hernández.
Good evening to everybody. My name is Jair Alexander Hernández. What do you study?
Estudio contabilidad pública.
I study public accounting. So, Jair, I wanted to ask you some questions to get the audience more know about you. So please tell us, the first question I wanted to ask is why you didn't go with them to Miami in person?
Estoy realmente triste porque Educación Estrella me invitó a ir a Miami.
I'm really sad because Educación Estrella invited me to go to Miami.
Luego de hacer el proceso y de poder aspirar a la visa,
After I aspired to get the US visa,
no se me fue posible el obtener la visa americana,
it wasn't possible for me to obtain the US visa
debido a que nunca he salido del país, nunca he viajado fuera del país.
because I never flight or traveled outside Colombia.
Pero espero en un futuro estar en Miami y poder tener la visa americana.
But I hope in the future to be in America and with the US visa. Nice. I hope so. I hope so. The second question I wanted to ask is about how was your life? How was your situation after you graduated from middle school?
Cuando me gradué de la escuela era un paradigma,
When I graduated from school, it was a paradigm
debido a que no sabía si podía estudiar o qué hacer para mi vida o para mi futuro.
because I wasn't certain about what to do with my life in the future.
Porque en mi familia nunca nadie estudió.
Because in my family, nobody studied in higher education.
Me tocó trabajar,
I was forced to work.
trabajé como mecánico de motocicletas, como jardinero, trabajé como pintor de casas de familia.
I worked as a repair motorcycle man, as gardener, as also painter for households, for other people, for house.
Y en octubre del 2020
And in October of 2020,
tuve un accidente en motocicleta donde quedé en silla de ruedas por 8 meses.
I had a traffic accident in a motorcycle that left me in a wheelchair during 8 months.
Casi no tenía la posibilidad de volver a caminar en mi vida. Pensé que había terminado todo.
I almost had the destiny to be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. And I thought it was done for me.
Entonces fue aspirar, intenté entrar a las universidades públicas en Colombia, pero es muy complicado.
So I aspire to enter public higher education universities in Colombia, but it's very difficult.
Pero conocí la Universidad Externa de Colombia y a Educación Estrella, los cuales por ellos puedo estudiar.
But I met la Universidad Externa de Colombia and Educación Estrella that gave me the chance to study here. So now that you mentioned Educación Estrella, please, I wanted to ask you, how have your life changed since you met Educación Estrella and you entered the university?
Ha cambiado mi vida inmensamente
It has changed my life immensely
debido a que ahora voy a ser el primer graduado de mi universidad en una carrera profesional.
because I am going to be the first person in my family to be a professional.
Tengo la posibilidad de ya tener un trabajo estable y en mi carrera, que es lo que yo estoy estudiando y lo que me gusta,
Because I have the chance to be in a job that is according to my career and it's something that I really do like.
y con esto poder ayudar a mi familia y a toda la familia mía que viene detrás mío.
And with this, help my family and the family that is behind me, every one of them,
Para un futuro mejor para todos.
for a better future for everyone. Nice. The last question I wanted to ask is, do you have any message, any invitation to make for the people that are listening to you?
Primeramente, gracias por escucharme y escucharnos.
Firstly, thanks for listening to us. Thanks for attending.
Gracias a Educación Estrella, a la Fundación Educación Estrella, por tener estas oportunidades por nosotros los que queremos salir adelante o estudiar.
Thanks to Educación Estrella for the opportunity to us, the people that are trying to get ahead and to try to study.
Gracias a las personas que tienen la posibilidad de ayudarnos, de darnos de alguna manera esa posibilidad, ese empujón para poder estudiar.
Thanks to everybody who have the chance to push us and help us and support us to get to the university and study.
Gracias. La idea, por favor, donen, colaboren, ayuden a Educación Estrella, con que no sea solo yo o pocos estudiantes, sino que sean muchos los estudiantes que podamos estudiar y salir adelante.
Please support and give to Fundación Educación Estrella so more students can be able to get ahead in life and be able to achieve their dreams.
Hoy en día, a mí me ayudan.
Nowadays, they help me.
En el futuro, yo espero poder ayudar a muchos estudiantes como yo, como lo hace Educación Estrella.
In the future, I want to study, I want to be able to help more students that, like me, are trying to get ahead.
Muchas gracias a todos.
Thank you very much. Thanks for listening. And now we are,
En el futuro vamos a estar juntos.
in the future, we'll be seeing you in person. Back
Gracias.
to you.
Statistics in Colombia, 6 out of 10 students don't go to college or university in our countries. So we need to help more Jairs. We need to connect more Jairs to our cause. And like Jair, he comes from a low-income community. He's very poor. Probably I visited him like 2 weeks ago, and his house is not bigger than this stage, probably, just including this table. 2 bedrooms, 1 kitchen, 1 bathroom, and no dining room, no living room. And you can see the dignity of his eyes, how he is full of support and hope, and how he is dreaming for a different future. And that has been a change in his mind and in his heart with the time. But there are not only financial barriers. It's not just to give him the money to pay the tuition. We need you to inspire them. We need you to provide them social capital because they don't have the network, they don't have the friends that will support them to go to college or to help them to have a good employment when there is a time. Or they need also cultural capital because they can go to university, but what about if they don't know how to write or read correctly? Or what about if, for example, they don't know maths because the level of the public school he attended was very low? That's the reality they are facing. So we decide in Estrella to make this proposal. And this proposal is a start behind because we said, okay, if our students, they are suffering from the lack of financial capital, we need to provide them with a zero-interest student loan program. And we built that. We, in Educación Estrella, give students long-term student loans without interest rate, which is not logic in terms of finance, but it's the way in which we can support them in a different way. The second item is that the lack of social capital. We structure a student success program. That means, okay, probably you don't have a family that supports you, but we are here to support you. My hands, my life, my capacities, and my love is for you as a student. And if you share that with me, you will be able to connect also with that student success program. And finally, the cultural capital is provided by universities. Behind Estrella, there are at least 20 campuses in Colombia of universities that provide classes, professors, all the student success programs that are run from the universities as well. So in that way, we are working to connect the students. And after that, I would like you to introduce Sergio. Wow, it's an special effect. That was, yeah, it's the star. So Sergio is going to explain our zero interest student loan strategy.
Okay, so first, I promised I practiced my presentation in English, but somebody told me I should do it in Spanish. Right, Bryce? Where are you? Does everybody understand Spanish? No? You don't understand Spanish. So English for you and Spanish for everybody else. Okay. So, both? Simultaneously? Okay, perfect. So, as Wei was saying, we built a model based on zero interest rate, right? We were working together in Los Andes, and we saw there was a big problem because people wanted to study, but the cost of studying was real high, right? So, oops. So in 2019, the idea was born. And the idea was born on, we need to change the world, right? We need to change Latin America. And somebody was telling us, you guys are crazy. And we said, you're right, we are crazy. It's not possible thinking as everybody else should think, right? So we said, we're able to change the world. We created a model in 2021 with our first loan. And that model was the zero interest rate model. We need to prove that model. We need to understand that the model was sustainable, right? That the model had probability to grow. And by 2025, last December, we were working with 18 universities in Colombia, and we had deployed $16 million, right? And we remember that person that told us that we were crazy. Because thanks to him, right, we're here, right? Because we said, if he's saying we're crazy, we're going to demonstrate that he's wrong. And now, Miami. Why Miami? ¿Por qué Miami? No, it's the capital of Latin America. No, so Miami, why Miami? Because we want to expand, we want to grow. The model is there, the model has been proven, it's sustainable, and now we need to scale. So Miami, these are our numbers. We have finance, 11.5 thousand students in Colombia, and we have deployed now $20 million. In December was 16, now it's 20. Now we have 21 universities, but we need 10 times more students, 10 times, right? Los Andes must be a university of 16,000 students, more or less, right? So we're almost as big as Los Andes, but we need 10 of Los Andes, right? We need to grow faster. That's why we're here. Yeah, that's why we're here. We're looking for to help those people. And you must be thinking, is this a scholarship or how does it work, right? So we do believe in scholarships, right? What is the problem with the scholarships? That they're narrow, they cannot be broad, access is limited, right? And we needed to multiply that. So with the Estrella model, we can give 5 times more impact without giving a scholarship by funding the interest. So if we can raise $100,000, we can impact 112 students in Colombia. So what we do is we find who pays the interest for these kids, right? It's not that the money doesn't have cost, because the people who lend the money to us, of course, we have to pay the cost of the money, but we are able to raise the money to pay those interests. And now we're looking for at least $500,000. Is that correct? 5? Yes. And we're looking for 1 million students in Latin America. Today, basically, all the students are in Colombia, but pretty soon we're going to open Chile, then Mexico, and then Peru. So in the next, 10 years, we should be all around Latin America. And if the craziness continues, we'll move to Africa. Because the problem that Wei told you just a few minutes ago in Africa is worse. So that's the next continent. And the time is now. The time is now. The time is now to scale. The time is now to grow. When Wei and I was thinking about Estrella, we were thinking about the 1 million students we need to help. Thank you very much. Now in Spanish. So, lastly, this is a trip, yes. We're here from Colombia, but this is a journey, right? And the passport is that symbol we're going to leave with you for you to come with us in this journey. We need your help. We need you in many ways. We will then explain how the different ways you can help us. But we need a lot of stamps in that passport. Because what is a passport, right? A passport is like the history of the good moments, right? Or when you travel, when you're somewhere, right? So that's our passport. And depending on the way you help Estrella, you'll have a different stamp on your passport.
So we have 5 different types of stamp. The one for $5,000, Access Enabler. For $10,000, Student Champion. $25,000, Future Sharper. $50,000, Impact Builder. And $100,000, System Partner. And behind all those numbers, remind and have in your heart, there are young people, students that we are going to support. So, thank you so much for hearing us. I think there is the last one here. You can scan the QR.
Yeah, one last message. We all think about Latin America, right? Basically, 95% come from Latin America, except 2, right?
Where are you from? Where are you from? Oh, Turkey.
Turkey,
Yeah.
so close to Latin America. Close to
Okay.
Latin. And we all want to change Latin America, right? We want Latin America to be as good as any other continent in the world. And we believe strongly that education is the way. We believe strongly that education is the way. And when you analyze the difference between countries like, England or United States versus Latin America, education is there as one of the top differences. And we're not getting closer in Latin America. We're getting farther, right? The distance is growing. So we need to educate at least 1 million kids in Latin America. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And remember, please scan the QR and you will be able to donate for the foundation. If you have any question, The tax
So,
exception.
so just
Yeah,
to
thank you
repeat,
so much.
We are a U.S. founded foundation, so you can get all the taxes, whatever thing, from the U.S. Right? Exception. That's correct.
The tax
Yeah.
exception.
Any other question? Okay, perfect.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time and for being here.
Enjoy your dinner.
Enjoy the evening.